What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Welcome to the MG Show. If you play us on 2-speed, we sound normal. Shady, welcome to the show.
Isn't that 45?
I might be. I mean, you might have to explain that to people that don't know what records are, Shady.
I am old, is what I just said.
I know. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Shady Groove. We got another amazing show. More stuff has actually come about where Schiff is now hitting the fan, Shady Groove. Kash Patel declassed Adam Schiff. But, Shady.
Yeah.
Q was just meant to make MAGA look retarded.
Yeah, that would be a bunch of people that were already like that whenever they started reading Q, and then they just amplified their own voices and acted like they were important.
Yeah. So, we're going to show you how
Q is retarded.
But he's not. So the Q team actually is Donald Trump's plan, okay? This is Donald Trump's whole agenda written before Donald Trump's second term, where he should have won, but it was rigged, okay? And now it's all happening today, okay? So all of this time they had this, even Adam Schiff is one of the ones that wanted to censor QAnon. And we're going to talk about, and we're talking about the difference. We understand the difference between Q and QAnon, okay? Q is Q, okay? Anons are Anons that do false decodes, QAnon. However, you got to remember that we did use that hashtag before it was usurped by the fake news. QAnon is what they used as a straw man to make you look stupid, and they focused only on a couple things. Did they read the 26 Adam Schiff posts? Did they read the 16 AS posts? Did they read everything that is happening today is happening in the Q drops, Shady? News unlocks the map.
And what effectively proving exactly what we've been saying, that this is not about esotericism. This is not about being a Nostradamus. This is not about being prophetic. What this is about what happened in reality. What were people doing to undermine the rule of law, and what were people doing to generate a fake story trying to connect Donald Trump to Russia, and who were the players that were doing it? There were not that many. Around 100 people total kind of at the core of all of this, and every single thing that they were doing was pretty much occupying the space of the worldwide news and impugning, subverting, and sidelining Donald Trump in his first presidency, pretty much stopping him from doing all of the things that he's doing right now. I think that that's worth being said also, guys.
Yeah.
The things that Donald Trump is doing right now, he was intending to do in his first administration, carrying on into his second administration, or 8 years.
Yep.
But what he's doing now is what they were afraid that he was going to do in the first administration. That's why you got Flynn. That's why you got Russia. That's why Hillary went and created the Steele dossier, and the FBI and the CIA and the intel community went hand in glove, completely 100% with it. And we can prove it now without a shadow of a doubt. And Q was back channeling, leaking that information to us in real time.
And, Simba says, make Nostradamus great again. Or is Donald Trump understanding exactly what happened to him, and the Q team let us know so we can be prepared for a day like today? There's no Nostradamus about it. It's facts. Okay. And the news that is unlocking the map, and everything is open source. There's nothing that Q gave us that was classified. It was all open source. Q team used the fake news to prove the points. But what happened? It got buried. Okay. And then we got censored, so we couldn't tell you. I mean, Shady, when Hunter Biden's laptop dropped, we got kicked off of YouTube.
Right before the 2020 election.
Yeah. Shady Groove, real quick. Let's look at this. Remember this, Shady Groove? Schiff is about to hit the fan? Well, Grok can animate memes now, Shady Groove. Check this out. Schiff has now hit the fan. I love that. Schiff has hit the fan, guys, and we have so many Q proofs regarding the Adam Schiff. Okay, guys, we've got so many Q proofs today, and we're going to go through them because I think people need to realize that Sweet as Caroline says the Flynn religion usurped Q. Exactly, and they did. I wonder why. Was Q over the target? It was Q telling us stuff that might implicate somebody that was the quote unquote target. Focus on Flynn. Target. Focus. Target. Shady.
See, now everything makes so much more sense whenever you take out all of this noise. What they were doing, is trying to create so much noise and prevent anybody from seeing what was actually going on. All of this stuff was noise about Flynn and Russia, okay? The Flynn setup to Russia, if you guys, now that we can stand back and clearly see, it was going to be anybody that won. Flynn was going to be put on them on the Republican side. The McChrystal-Flynn split happened before the run-up for the 2016 election. You guys have to understand, this whole Flynn Intel group was created in like 2013, 2014. And you're telling me that by 2015, General Flynn and General McChrystal are completely on opposite sides of the spectrum, and the defeat disinfo digital soldiers that General McChrystal is talking about utilizing against Trump supporters is somehow all of a sudden within a year and a half unassociated with his cohort that put it together with him, Michael Flynn. We have an issue here. And then you see the dereliction of duty regarding Kislyak. Why would Flynn not tell Trump that Kislyak was trying to get Putin to talk to him? That's very simple. Then you have Flynn with the 2 FBI agents. Comey, we'll just send a couple guys down to do what? To talk to Flynn. Flynn doesn't have attorneys present. Those 3 things right there paint a completely different picture. And the Q drops read totally inverted now about a number of those things.
But Shady, J.D. Vance spoke highly of General Flynn and Roger Stone.
J.D. Vance spoke of exactly what it was that the operation was presented to you against Flynn.
And you know what? Would you tell your enemy anything, or would you keep them comfy, cozy?
No, you would just leave them alone.
Right. All right. So ask yourself a very simple question, Cue Ball Frank. Good post here. And you're naked, by the way. There's a bunch of naked people in here. Jeez. Why is everything regarding Q being censored, banned, and attacked? When do you expand ammunition, resources? Q. They did it all over us, guys. They did it all over you. All of it. So let's get into some of. Yeah. Let's get into. Go ahead. No. Sorry.
Now, whenever I was saying when Q ended, look at what happened. Look at what they did. This is what they did. So listen, at the end, whenever our show was canceled on YouTube, there were 17 channels taken down on YouTube. Most of those channels that were taken down on YouTube, there was a couple of them that were pretty big, X22, Praying Medic, a couple that were pretty big. Most of them were smaller than us. We were the only ones in any of those that were talking about all of these different things directly about Q. Everybody else was trying to talk about other stuff. Then The election loss happened. Then you got Charlie Ward. Then you got Truth Hammer Scott McKay. Then you got devolution. Then you got fed all of these narratives to undermine, distract, and dilute what Q was explaining to you, which we can clearly see now. Q had told us sometimes you got to walk through the dark. Sometimes you have to show people what communism is before they will believe you. And we understood that. But everybody else kept yelling and screaming and telling us that Donald Trump was actually in control. And the Alex Jones Network agreed with that.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's
It's
what
crazy.
they were doing. That's what they were doing to undermine our message. Our message was done by the book. At no point did the two of us sit here and say, oh, we want martial law and Donald Trump to come in there and take over the voting machines. Like we were seeing that there were problems with these voting machines. But this show never wanted the military involved with your elections. And you can't go back and find any tape of us saying that.
Yeah, that's right. And, we want to go ahead and start this show off with pesky Adam Schiff Q-proof, guys. I mean, this is what's happening. So FBI Director Kash Patel, quote, now Congress can see how classified information was leaked to shape political narratives and decide if our institutions were weaponized against the American people. 12/10/2017, Adam Schiff is a traitor to our country. Congressman Adam Schiff, who spent 2 years knowingly and unlawfully lying and leaking, should be forced to resign from Congress. Knowingly. Leaking investigations can lead to forced resignations. Knowingly. Disseminating false information is illegal. Gang of 8 intel, 26 posts on Schiff, 16 posts with AS. Which ones do you want to start with, Shady? Here, let's just look at this real quick. There's the Kash Patel article, okay? This is called a Q-proof, guys, okay? This is one of the first posts. Adam Schiff is a traitor to our country. Leaker. We knew he was a leaker in 2017. December of 2017. Do you understand how frustrated we are with this?
Yeah, but
We've been telling you the truth for so long.
Do you understand what they've been doing for the last 3 months with this stupid Epstein stuff? Whenever we've known all of this, like jarring up this Epstein, jarring up this Israel nonsense, like absolute crap garbage, the Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Steve Bannon, all of you political nuts that are associated somehow with the globalist secret societies connected to the church somehow. Maybe I'm the conspiracy theorist in the room that says these people are suspect. But they all disagree with me. They all say the Q's is BS. They all say that there's something wrong with you or with us and what we're doing here talking to people because we're exposing the actual secret order and the secret plan to stop Trump that isn't working.
Yeah. I mean, look at this, Shady. This is December 10th, 2017. Adam Schiff is a traitor to our country. Leaker. National security. Evil. TikTok. Hope the $7.8 million was worth it. Enjoy the show. Somebody asked, what is that $7.8 million? It probably was a donation for him to do this operation. Okay? Haven't you figured it out yet, guys? It's they're hiding their corruption. When working in this capacity, blank, and whistleblower is also in the Q post, okay, guys? Was called to an all-staff meeting by Schiff. In this meeting, Schiff stated the group would leak classified information which was derogatory to President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Schiff stated the information would be used to indict President Trump. Blank, whistleblower, stated that this would be illegal, and upon hearing his concerns, unnamed members of the meeting reassured blank that they would not be caught leaking classified information. Blank, whistleblower, was again approached by leaking classified information in a separate meeting by unnamed individual. Blank believed this activity to be unethical and treasonous. Adam Schiff is a traitor to our country. Blank, whistleblower, was concerned about the discussions and as a result reached out to the contacts from his prior blank employment. Is that NSA, Shady? For the guidance on, or is it DOD? Employment for the guidance on where to report this experience. These discussions led the whistleblower to contact the FBI regarding his concerns. Blank had several conversations with 2 unnamed FBI agents related to the matter and was eventually invited to attend a mock whatever. Either way, haven't you figured it out yet? It's not about Trump's corruption. It's about making sure you don't find out about their corruption. And the MG show was right, Shady. I hate to say it. We were right because we followed Q.
Well, we were right because let's even be more clear than that. We were right because we followed our research. Okay, we followed our research into the questions that Q asked, and that's why we were right. You can't really say we were right because of Q, because Q just give us the idea of a place to look.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
And
right.
This is what you have to understand. That this is where people get like off the rail because they decide that they're you're believing in something. I don't believe in anything. I believe in things that I can't prove a lot of the times. Okay,
So-
but I don't believe in Q. I can prove that Q was connected to Trump. I can prove that Q was right. I can prove that these scenarios that were being explained to me about how deep the rabbit hole went were really that deep. And the connections to the same exact secret societies that all of us knew about before Q ever posted. Almost every single person listening to my voice had some sense of what was really going on in America and with the Federal Reserve without really, you understood that the Federal Reserve wasn't part of the federal government. You might not have understood exactly how it connected to the financial system, but you understood these caveats of information already. So this right here doesn't necessarily do anything other than show people how to see the truth better and how to see through the people that are lying to you.
So you said this, Shady Groove. You said, I trust my research. The truth is learned. It's never told. Q posted, I was there to prove it wrong at first, Shady Groove. Just
That's what
come
I did.
on. What is this crap?
Exactly why I came to the conversation.
I couldn't prove it wrong.
All the other LARPs, all the other times that something came out on 4chan for the past 3 to 4 years before Q, I could easily see really quick that it was a LARP. I knew what a LARP was before Q. I understood what FBI Anon was. I understood what all these different things were about Pizzagate and all this stuff that was coming out on the internet long before Q.
Yeah.
So when Q came along, I took the same tactic to debunk it. And then all of a sudden, you couldn't debunk the inside track of information because it was pointing you to things that you didn't see yet that were open source.
Sweetest Caroline says, your research and our research came to the same conclusion: subversion by the enemy within. Yep. The truth is like that. Absolutely. So, Sweetest Caroline, a lot of people did not follow Q because of the noise around it, right? You probably were like, oh, God, you're probably getting called right now saying, oh, why are you listening to the MG show? Why are you doing this? Because you know why? Because we're right. And those that scream the loudest, I mean, they are all about attacking me on Twitter and X, Shady. They're all about censoring me. And we're going to go over these posts because this is Adam Schiff Day, okay? This is the Schiff has hit the fan show, Shady Groove. And we're going to show you the 26 post firsts with Adam Schiff. Then we're going to show you the other post with AS. And you're going to see that this Q stuff isn't retarded, as they say.
Because we actually have this is piece one. I just want to make that clear. You're getting ready to see hundreds of pieces of evidence in what we're going to show you. What you just saw from Kash Patel to release this document is one piece of evidence that substantiates all of the stuff that we're getting ready to show you. Like, it's all connected, not to mention the idea that the Q posts talk about this exact piece of evidence.
That's right. That's right. So let's go to this. Q Post 325 is the first one, 12/10/2017. I just went over it, blunt and direct time. Adam Schiff is a traitor to our country. Leaker. And what did we just find out today, Shady? Knowingly leaking, right? National security, evil, TikTok. Hope the 7.8 million was worth it. Enjoy the show. Here's the second Q Post. It talks about Melissa Schiff marrying Robert D. Soros. Okay, Melissa Robin Schiff, the daughter of Marlene S. Schiff and New York, and the late Dr. Haskell Schiff, was married May 5th to Daniel Soros, Robert Daniel Soros, a son of Annalise Soros and George Soros, both of New York. Rabbi Dr. David Posner performed the ceremony at the Temple of Emmanuel in New York. Okay, guys, is Melissa Schiff related to Adam Schiff? What are the chances? Follow the wives. These people are stupid. So, who is the D.C. mayor's wife, Shady?
Donna Brazile.
Donna Brazile. Isn't that interesting? You see, follow the wives makes sense now, doesn't it? This is an article about a deeply disturbing, Nunez received FBI information. Sunday talk shows Schiff deeply disturbing that received FBI information. Did you know? Here's the next one. 2208 right here. It talks about this, okay? It talks about the nation on alert. Firing Rod Rosenstein equals block Mueller. Firing Rod Rosenstein set up to firing Mueller. Firing Rod Rosenstein equals red line. What was the Senate confirmation vote regarding Rod Rosenstein? Why did Rod Rosenstein beg Ryan to block the FISA memo from congressional review further advancement? Real time. See, here's the skiff. Remember, we had this Q proof the other day where it was Paul Sperry found that there was 14 or 16 members in a skiff.
Yep.
Here it is.
Yep. And gang of 8 are going to be included with that, if not all of them, most of them.
So we got 7 real time 7 congressional members, 3 senators, 2 former Obama senior officials, 4 outside contractors, no classified or top sensitive level clearance, okay? At a skiff in DC Capitol, top security clearance is mandatory for admission. How is that possible? We see you. The DOJ and FBI have previously informed me that a release of some of this information would cross a red line. Declass FISA, Rod Rosenstein force, red line, new playbook needed. We see you. Okay?
No, so this is relevant because what is going on right here in this meeting that they're doing is they are discussing the reality that they're making all of this up about Donald Trump. This is knowingly. We talked to you about knowingly. I think it was last week. We went into the knowingly post. This is knowingly. They knew that it was all hot garbage. Yep. None of it was real. Not a lick of it had any substantive proof or evidence whatsoever that they were using to smear Trump through this dossier.
Yeah. Wow, guys. Okay. So
it's getting ready to unfold. This is just the very, very big. This is a drip. This is the tiny drip. Because what you're getting ready to see in these other posts, this is about like they initiated it. Then they continued it. More FISAs and more stories and more articles for years.
Do you have the posts up so you can read a couple? Because I think we need to go through these. I mean, I
have them both up, so you tell me where you want me.
This is Adam Schiff Day, okay? This is it, man. I mean, Q was right, Shady.
I have one up with Schiff and one up with AS and Killbox. So
we're doing Schiff right now. Yep. So go look at 2963, and will you go ahead and step us through that, please?
Okay. Yep. Let me go to the bottom. 2963.
I have mine reorchestrated to bottom to top, top to bottom. Okay, so this is the tweet that Shady's going to read. He's going to read the post, but I'll just read the tweet before he does that. Step 1, hype an invented threat of invasion of terrorists, murderers, and rapists. Was that invented now, guys? Was the threat of invasion, terrorists, murderers, and rapists, was that invented? Or was it real? Step 2, send troops to border to address the imaginary threat. Step 3, justify the wall as necessary to protect troops sent to meet the non-existent threat. Step 4, executive time. And Shady Groove, we're going to go to that Q post 2693.
Okay, that was like 2963. I couldn't find it.
2693. I'm sorry.
Oh, that might be better. Okay.
I'm dyslexic.
Let's actually use facts. Step 1, hype an invented threat of POTUS working with the Russians disinformation campaign. Remember all of this stuff about the Russians. There would be no connections to the Russians without Flynn. You've got to have Flynn or you've got no connections to the Russians. That's pre-set up. Any of them that would have won were going to be connected to Russians. This was the setup in motion before the election or anything. Step 2, send FBI, DOJ, Congress, Senate, and CIA, NSA, Intel 5I, etc. to address and investigate the imaginary threat. Step 3, justify the special counsel and millions of taxpayer dollars spent as necessary to protect the public and our election process against an imaginary, made-up, non-existent threat which really is designed to protect the illegal activity of many elected officials. Step 4, open new fake and false investigations as a chairman of the House Intel Committee to retain disinformation campaign that was designed to keep liberal Democrat Americans on board to regain power and prevent the prosecution. Executive time. Q.
Wow. So
Q quotes that and says, life lesson, AS.
Adam Schiff.
Next time you leak classified information, don't have your phone or allow phones of the unknown go between students present, because FISA works both ways.
Wow.
So effectively, guys, what Kash Patel just did here is he's doing exactly to Adam Schiff what Adam Schiff was trying to do to Trump, except there wasn't anything Trump had done wrong. What Adam Schiff has done is exactly what he was accusing Donald Trump of doing.
So the next one, it's an Adam Schiff post. Dan Coates has been doing an outstanding job as Director of National Intelligence. Brennan also liked him. He speaks truth to power and gives policymakers the best intelligence possible. He's loyal to the country and the Constitution, and that's as it should be. And this is Sean Harris. Trump said intelligence director is not loyal. Now U.S. officials think president will fire him. New from me, whatever. Washington Post, okay? So then we go back to this. We really started something, didn't we? Well, now we know he's a bad apple. Fly, Coates, fly. Q. And then we go to this one. This is a Forbes article. The top 4 reasons California is unsustainable. They know what's best for our country. Pelosi, California rep since 1987. Waters, California rep since 1991. Schiff, California rep since 2001. Feinstein, rep since 1992. Harris, Lou, lead by example. California estimated $2 trillion in debt, homelessness, population on the rise, highest tax rates in the country, undocumented immigrants in California versus nation, uncontrollable state. Now you know why they're focused on LA, guys. Do you understand that? Uncontrollable state government spending. If you can't fix your own home state, what makes you think you can fix the country? Quote, if you are living in one of the 49 other states, you should learn from the lesson that is California. If you are living in California, there is always the lesson of how Michigan came to be governed by a more centrist government. Of course, that came after the failure of the prior government. For now, however, for all its concern for sustainable foods and products, California is on a high-speed rail to unsustainability. Facts matter. And by the way, high-speed rail, train, you know, they are the bloodlines over there. Wow. All right, Shady, 3063.
3063, all capital letters. Remember this important fact. Adam Schiff is part of the Gang of 8. How many times has Shady talked about the Gang of 8? How many times have I said that? This is very specific because this means your Congress is in on this. It will become critical once Gang of 8 material is declassified. Coming soon. Logical Q. Logical question. If Adam Schiff knew everything he's investigating and stating publicly to be knowingly false disinformation, why then would he take the course of action or actions ongoing? Did Adam Schiff purposely deceive the American people thinking the Gang of 8 material plus other classified documentation would never reach the public domain?
Well, it reached it today, Shady Groove. Last night, actually. Go ahead.
What insurance did they hang over POTUS's head in order to prevent action? A father's love for his children knows no bounds.
Wow. Then we've got the next one here, Shady Groove. It's Q Post 3223. It's a picture with Adam Schiff in overalls with a young man, okay? Let your enemy dig their own grave. Every time Schiff talks, he turns Americans away, although charges against Schiff would be pretty badass. Watch Hannity tonight. POTUS may have a few words on the subject. I remember this, too. All right, this is the one right here, Shady Groove. 3241. Donald Trump's post right here. I mean, he's even said it publicly, guys, okay? Congressman Adam Schiff, who spent 2 years knowingly and unlawfully lying and leaking, should be forced to resign from Congress. 2019, guys, okay? Going back, Congressman Adam Schiff, I just told you that, who spent years knowingly and unlawfully lying and leaking, should be forced to resign Congress. Knowingly. Leaking investigations can lead to forced resignation. Knowingly disseminating false information is illegal. Gang of 8 intel, Shady.
This is why people like Mark Warner are also very, very animated right now. All the people that were on Gang of 8 were in on this, and I'm of the assumption that maybe there were even a lot more coordination than we think. Like literally having meetings with the Gang of 8 and the FBI. What if we uncover meetings between, what they were actually doing at that time, like literally like that. Like there's a number of Q posts that indicate that they were literally meeting with Congress and they were cooking this up all together, possibly even a couple people on our side.
They all have foundations for a reason, Shady Groove. This is the Aspen Security Forum, ongoing government communications headquarters, Robert Hannigan, U.S. Representative for California, 28 Congressional District and House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence ranking member Adam Schiff, okay? Now he's a senator. We understand that, but this is when he was then. So thought it was worth noting, Robert Hannigan, fast forward 1 year, The Hill, Adam Schiff, Glenn Simpson, and their Forrest Gump-like encounter in Aspen. Rewind 1 year. Bigger story yet to be discovered. Leak investigations go both ways. R plus D. A house needs to be constantly cleaned. Q.
Glenn Simpson is Fusion GPS.
Yep. All right, Shady, let's go to 3778, my friend.
D party leaders, Big Five. Rep. Nancy Pelosi, D. California Speaker of the House. Rep. Adam Schiff, D. California Chairman of the Intel Committee. Rep. Jerry Nadler, D. New York Chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Senator Chuck Schumer, D. New York Senate Minority Leader. Senator Dianne Feinstein, D. California Ranking, Member Judiciary. Control over California and New York vital to maintain the D structural integrity.
Democrat, yep.
And it gives us, what's that, Judicial Watch? I'm going to the article now. California begins massive voter roll cleaning, millions inactive voters as part of Judicial Watch lawsuit is one. They're basically pointing to the election stuff. And this is about illegals, I think, voting, illegal immigrants getting driver's licenses. Just leverage control dictates how far you rise within the D party. Q. In other words, look at like, for instance, that's a very interesting comment connected to right now in this Jasmine Crockett lady. And I don't know if you guys are paying any attention to this person. This Jasmine Crockett person that's out there talking all thug-like and hood is one of, like, she has been to like the most premier schools in America. Like, she has graduated from some of the most astute universities in the country. Over $1 million was spent on this lady's education. Do you understand that? I want to make clear that you understand that, because this says here, leverage and control dictates how far you rise within the D party. Well, being smart and articulate and fair will get you nowhere in the Democrat Party, okay? But being like Jasmine Crockett will get you a long way, just like AOC and the Squad and all these other people. So I just want you to realize how the system and the situation works, the way that they're presenting people to you. None of these people that are being presented to you are really what they appear to be.
All right, and I'm going to go to the next one right here. This is Q post here, but this is the link that's in the Q post. In Lithuania, to speak at NATO conference, Baltic allies alarmed by Russia's actions. United for Ukraine, Shady. Wow, okay. All right, so that's that, and then it goes to this. Coming soon, Q.
Soon. Mm-hmm.
That was before all this Ukraine nonsense, guys.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Long before. I mean, this is, we're talking February 2020.
Mm-hmm. And it came. News unlocked that map, okay? So haven't you figured it out yet? It's not about Trump's corruption. It's about making sure you don't find out about their corruption. Q Post 3820. It goes to a Fox News article. Schiff's own Ukraine connection comes under scrutiny. Wow, imagine that, Shady. All right, the next one is 3853. Wow. Where we go, one we go all. Drops will go fast. Okay, so you're noticing that we're really having a hard time keeping up with everything. I mean, we only have a 2-hour show now, Shady. It used to be the Matrix Groove hour. Now it's the Matrix Groove 2-hour show.
But well, we made it for 4 years under Biden and couldn't keep it under 2 hours.
The White House is clean right now, guys. Marker, everything is planned. Years, message, unity, awakening. We fight. Lexington, Concord. Stay together. Q. Follow Bolton. Clean. Stage. Learn how to archive offline. The streets will not be safe for them. Now, what's happening in D.C.? Is the streets safe for them right now?
No, it's getting more safe for us and less safe for them at the same time. Isn't that a coincidence?
Yeah. So what happened following Bolton's departure from the White House? White House clean? What happened following impeachment? Nadler, Pelosi, Schiff cannot walk down the street. Imagine that. Shady Grove, we're going to get you to 3993.
Remember this important fact. Adam Schiff is part of the Gang of Eight intel. It will become critical once Gang of Eight material is declassified. This is a repost of some of them from the other one. Logical question, if Adam Schiff knew everything he's investigating and stating publicly to be knowingly false disinformation, why then would he take the course of actions ongoing? Did Adam Schiff purposely deceive the American people, thinking the Gang of Eight material and other classified documentation would never reach the public domain? Adam Schiff memo false. If Adam Schiff was privy to Gang of Eight classified material, would he not know the same fact or truth as Nunes? Think Nunes memo versus Schiff. Knowingly. What if it was coordinated?
Wow. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it is actually, sir. And you know what I mean by that.
Yes, sir. All right. Whew. All right. So this is Q post 4015. Okay. This is a lot of the stuff here. Okay. This is YouTube CEO. This is 4/30/2020. Susan Wojcicki says anything goes against the WHO is a violation of YouTube policies, Shady.
I noticed.
All content. Go ahead.
I said, I think we noticed.
Oh, yeah. All content isn't medically substantiated, such as advising people to take vitamin C will be removed from the platform. Oh, my God. Shady, take vitamin C. You're out of here.
Oh, no.
What kind of country are we living in? This is April 29th, guys. This is the chairman, okay, of the Intel Committee, guys, okay? Adam Schiff is writing Pichai and Wojcicki. And that's Alphabet Inc. Okay, that's Google and Wojcicki, right? Susan Wojcicki. I can't even say her name right.
Wojcicki, let's get us close enough.
Right. Telling you to censor us. They're telling them to censor us, Shady, about WHO stuff and COVID and all that stuff.
Yeah, because they don't like us talking about all these things that they were doing behind the scenes that they thought we didn't know about. But this whole Q thing kept leaking information from behind the scenes to tell us information.
Wow. Can't have that. Misinformation is dangerous. Misinformation about public health is deadly. I sent a letter to CEOs of Google, YouTube, and Twitter, urging them to proactively inform users that they've been interacted with medical misinformation.
So
oh, my God.
Back, dude.
Here's a good reminder of Schiff's lies in the House on impeachment. Watch Adam Schiff claim to be using a parody to facilitate his lies. This guy is sick. Schiff apparently thinks he's a comedian rather than a chairman of the House of Committee. Head of House Intelligence, Adam Schiff, demands Google, YouTube step up their authoritative, and Twitter, okay? Control of the population, sheep. Control of the narrative? Yes. Okay? You are under Adam Schiff's psyop, okay? This is a psychological operation because censorship is psyop, guys.
And violence.
Yeah, it's violence against my First Amendment right.
Yes, it is. It's violence against us.
Yep. All right, so this is a Washington Examiner opinion. Brian York's Daily Memo exclusive DNI to Schiff. The transcripts are ready to release. Sorry, Adam, but the game is over. Oh, the game is now over. It doesn't end here. Locked on target. It takes time to install the right people. Sleepers, we are ready. Now, remember, focus on Flynn. The target was Flynn, guys. We're going to go over that a little bit later, but this is very interesting to understand about sleepers and target and focus, okay? 4141. The public will learn the truth. The media will attempt to spin as partisan attack. The House will push for Barr removal. Now, Barr ended up working behind the scenes against President Trump, Shady, that we now found out. B-2 bomber?
Yep.
Yeah. The House will open investigation into Barr Durham, lack of confidence. Full disclosure, declass provides truth. Full corroboration provides truth. What happens when the corporate media knowingly pushes false propaganda information? What happens when corporate media can no longer be trusted? The silent war continues, ... This is Keep Watching the News. This is the post from Adam Schiff that is here in the Q drop. Flynn pled guilty to lying to the FBI about his illicit Russian contracts. His lies do not now become truths. The dismissal does not exonerate him, but it does incriminate Bill Barr in the worst politicization of the Justice Department in its history. Very interesting, isn't it? Wow. Okay. Wow, Shady. We got a bunch more. Why don't you go get us on 4196, my friend?
This is a big one, guys. And I want everybody to understand that we're paying attention to something here that nobody else, none of our colleagues are paying attention to. None of the people that are in this space are paying attention to the specifics of this. They all want clicks and they all want attention for themselves. None of them want to actually tell what is happening to
I want to highlight that the Big Mig show has 10,000 viewers live.
No, it's
60 likes. Okay. So, and they're saying that Charlie Kirk is a transgender.
What?
Yeah, that was in there, and they got. It's so frustrating that these people are even allowed to operate.
Well, I mean, it's like I'm watching it last night, and I made the comment about the idea. I mean, it's like they're all just fighting each other right now. Like what you're seeing, like they're all just like going back and forth and fighting one another. It's all pretend. They're pretending like if the talking heads keep fighting one another, then there's no time to pay attention to what Donald Trump is doing. There's no time to listen to him talk about what great moves that he's making on the world stage. And thousands of people are missing it because they have no idea what happened because they're listening to Laura Loomer fight with Marjorie Taylor Greene or, whichever one is going at the other one right now today.
And Fed Up American says, Adam Schiff, what happened at the hotel? What happened? Him spending millions of your dollars setting up President Trump on a bullshit dossier. We're gonna get into the standard hotel post, but this is the big story. Okay, this is a Q proof. All of these posts are a Q proof for today with the information of Adam Schiff knowingly leaking the information to shape a narrative.
It's a predicate, guys. You have to understand that the story about the Standard Hotel is how he became captured. Whenever you need a favor, whenever you need somebody to put something under the rug, whenever you need something to go away, you become a puppet. You become an asset. Then you have no choice but to do the things that we're showing you here. One leads to another. Yeah. This is more important than that because this is what he did because of that.
Yeah.
Right,
Shady?
I said that right. Okay.
You did.
All right.
4196, my friend. And these are Q proofs. This is news unlocking the map. And now we're getting an idea as to what else is going to happen, Shady. Okay?
The shadow presidency, the shadow government. Why did Hussein, Barack Obama shadow president regarding his foreign trips? Why did John Kerry, shadow POTUS regarding Iran? Why did Kerry shadow POTUS regarding classified 1 through 99, which we've talked about in a number of other posts? Why did McMaster target and remove loyal intel operatives inside the White House? Why did McMaster prevent D-class disclosure to Congress? In other words, keeping it just with the Gang of Eight.
And McMaster was the rogue McMaster after Flynn, guys, okay? Flynn's first strike was to cripple, right? And then cover up White House chain of commands over Hussein and then install rogue McMaster. Shady.
Why did Coates prevent D-class disclosed to Congress? Why did Bolton prevent D-class disclosed to Congress? Why did Paul Ryan, prevent subpoena power of Republican Congress? Why did Rosenstein work to entrap and install the blockade special counsel? Why did Rosenstein install Mueller knowing zero evidence of Russia collusion existed? Why did Mueller attempt to retake the FBI director position? Why did Mueller and Rosenstein drag out special counsel investigation if it was known that there was no Russia collusion plus start? Why did select members of the National Security Council, Vindman, actively leak to the mainstream media? Why did select members of the National Security Council, Vindman, orchestrate fake whistleblower reports with Schiff and Cheryl Atkinson, class 1 through 9, to sabotage and initiate impeachment? I want to bring your attention to, you're talking about class 1 through 9 is different than class 1 through 99. These are relevant to different organizations in the federal government and the people that were participating from within that specific organization. That's why they're classified like this. The classified portion of this is who they are, not what they did. Do you understand that? If Q had leaked who they were, that would have been leaking classified information, but leaking what they did isn't. Class 1 through 99 to sabotage and initiate impeachment. Why did Pelosi rush impeachment investigation? Remember, the impeachment investigation started the day the first COVID case hit. Why did Pelosi rush impeachment investigation? Why did Pelosi then hold impeachment articles until January 15th, the day the first COVID case hit? Why did Schiff push false Russia evidence narrative post closed door interviews, no evidence of collusion? Why did Schiff coordinate with the White House, the National Security Council, through a proxy to arrange for a Ukraine whistleblower? And why did Schiff actively leak knowingly false statements during post-classified sessions to the mainstream media? You know, this is kind of interesting to see all these Ukraine whistleblowers Schiff has contact with to know what Ryan Routh was up to. Wonder who sent him. Why did Schiff illegally surveil phone members of the White House legal team, media, and Congress? And why did Pentagon officials class 1 through 99, probably that classification is subject to Pentagon, tendered resignation within a 2-week period? Why did Omarosa, whatever the hell her middle name is, Newman, attempt to entrap POTUS through secret and illegal recordings? Why did Soros finance anti-POTUS events and organizations across the U.S.? And why did class 1 through 99 people organize and push propaganda smear campaign through the use of the mainstream media in Hollywood? Here you got it. Class 1 through 99F, class 1 through 99F, class 1 through 99F, class 1 through 99F, class 1 through 99, class 1 through 99, class 1 through 99, class 1 through 99, class 1 through 99 times 49. Insurgency, irregular warfare, the greatest political scandal in history. What are they trying to prevent? Say it ain't so. Who are they trying to protect? You.
Wow. Guys.
You think we have anything?
No, the Q is retarded, Shady, and it's made to look made to make MAGA look retarded. That's what this guy said to me today.
I'm getting the same messages, sir.
So the Boston Herald, information Schiff media damaged America, corporate media control source, Bill Clinton's 1996 Telecommunications Act, 2016 campaign, plus Clinton Foundation contributions, Hillary Rodham Clinton by media, control of information, control of narrative, control of people. Q. And then we got 4310. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, this is, follow the pen. We got declassification paragraph. Director Comey affirmed that he is by the book. Okay, here we go.
By the book.
Yeah, by the book. Relevance. Regarding Susan Rice top secret declass paragraph from a national security perspective, Comey said he does not have some concerns. Excuse me, that he does have some concerns that incoming NSA Flynn is speaking frequently with Russian Ambassador Kislyak. Comey said that could be an issue as it relates to sharing sensitive information. President Obama asked if Comey was saying that the National Security Council should not pass sensitive information related to Russia to Flynn. Comey replied, potentially.
Okay, hang on. I want you to stop there real quick because now we have new information reading that. Isn't this interesting now reading that? Because the new information that we didn't have whenever this post originally came out was what General Kellogg explained to us about how General Flynn did not tell Donald Trump for over a week that Kislyak was calling to set up a meeting with Putin. Here you have, specifically, it seems like, Jeff, if we look this the right way, you tell me if I'm wrong, but it almost seems like we have an inside track here where Flynn and Comey and Obama seem to know that Flynn is withholding that communication and utilizing that in some surreptitious manner. Am I reading that wrong, sir?
I think you're reading it right because I want to actually just double check something here because this is very interesting. In that document, okay, let me just grab it real quick.
Funny what you see looking back later, isn't it, guys?
Oh my gosh, because this is a Q-proof potentially. Let me just double check this. I'm just trying to find. Did you see the new article? Got it. Okay, so in one meeting, here it is right here. Let me grab it. Okay. In one meeting, the Democrat HPSCI staffer told the FBI that retired Lieutenant General Mike Flynn, Trump's first national security advisor for 23 days, got fired for lying, okay, was to be specific focus, a target, Shady, of the committee as part of a broader effort to target Trump. The whistleblower also specifically pointed to Rep. Eric Swallowwell, Democrat California, as likely source of classified leaks, the memo state. The Democratic staffer also allegedly told a former Republican colleague on the committee that he was terminated because Schiff staff did not believe he had adequate party loyalty after he raised concerns about the leak strategy, the FBI memos show. Interesting. So, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, this is more than interesting because to me, like I said, this looks like they knew, like Flynn was withholding this communication from Donald Trump for them. Like, because you got to think in your head, like, okay, why would someone do that? Why would General Flynn do that? Why would he not communicate to Donald Trump's team that Putin is trying to talk to him, that wants a meeting or wants to set something up? Why would you withhold that from someone? And then Trump was very, very animated whenever he realized that. So we didn't know any of that. This is the reason that these other people are so fake, because they won't take in new information and recognize how it changes the story. This is a big portion of the story that we thought was one way during Q that is very clearly something different now, because General Flynn did not work to tell us where the bodies were buried. He worked to continue to perpetuate his grift.
Let me go because it said Flynn was the focus. Okay. Focus on Flynn. Q post 36. Military intelligence, no media, no leaks. How many military intelligence generals have been in and out of the White House in the past 30 days? Focus on Flynn. Background and potential role. What is the common denominator in terms of military backgrounds close to POTUS? Why did Soros transfer the bulk of his funds to the nonprofit organizations? Why is this? So what does Flynn have? Does he have a nonprofit organization, Shady? Why is that relevant? Who owes a lot to very bad actors?
People that were in foreign theaters of war.
Focus on Flynn, okay? Here's another focus, okay? A person who betrays another, a cause or any trust. Focus.
This is why all the people that are so
be careful who you follow
in the Flynn cult don't want to pay attention to this information, because it undermines his integrity tremendously.
Let me keep going, because who right now is trying to divide the community? Is it us or is it them, Shady?
It's them. They don't.
Oh, so they want you divided. Divided, we're weak. Together, we're strong. There was no attempt to divide. There was, however, strategic move to reveal. Be careful who you follow. Incorrect message translated past autist. Correction made. No names mentioned. They revealed themselves. Fake and false incorrect decodes removed, resolved. Fake and false claims of an unknown allowed access to classified seal indictments removed, resolved. Do not fall victim to con artists. Use logic, stay on point. This is not about a single person. This is not about fame, followers, or profiteering. We the people, we the people, we the people. There will come a time where they will not be safe walking down the street. We will not be held hostage. Sky event, where we go one, we go all. Q plus, okay? Who tried to insulate President Trump by having Flynn, assassination proof was the term, okay? Flynn VP will make Trump assassination proof. We will not be held hostage. Do you understand that this is becoming a news unlocks map, Shady?
That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying before 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump last summer. Is they were sitting there saying over and over again that if he doesn't pick Flynn, he isn't assassination proof. He didn't pick Flynn, and there were 2 assassinations on his life. I'm sure that none of that's connected to all of these people and Adam Schiff not wanting this information that they were coordinating on to come out.
Hey, Shady, guess what? I'm going to prove something right here. Are we over the target?
Let's see.
Guitar Anon is here, Shady.
Hey, buddy.
He's calling us clowns. Wow, we're reading Q posts about your buddy. Guitar?
His idol. He's not his buddy.
It's say the same things.
It's his idol, man. They can't. It's at his altar. He worships the cult. Just give him grace. Be easy on him.
Be careful who you follow, Shady and Jeff. The same thing as Adam Schiff. Seriously, look at yourself.
I have Guitar Anon. With Adam Schiff. I'm not associated with the government. I wasn't part of the Russia collusion that set Donald Trump up like your hero, General Flynn, was.
That's right. And I wasn't fired within 23 days either.
No.
And I didn't do fake decodes like you and your asshats did.
My press credentials are still solid, brother.
Yes, they are.
How is your? I don't see Flynn at any press events.
Jeff and Shady equal Adam Schiff.
That's a good one. Boy, oh boy. They really.
Can we thank Guitar Anon right now real quick for our counseling session, Shady?
Yeah, give him some love. We appreciate that.
Was it Guitar Anon that wanted us to do
Brian
that?
Gamble, but you can
same thing.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. They're literally cut from the same cloth.
They're so bad. Oh,
stick around, buddy. We got another hour coming.
Don't block them. Leave them here because I love it. MG Show is fake news, guys. All right, here we go. So what really is discussed during January 5th meeting? Hussein ordering preventing sharing of intel. Who worked for Hussein? Was it General Flynn?
Yeah, that was
He got promoted underneath Hussein, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. And then Hussein told Trump that, don't go get that Flynn guy.
The setup.
These people are so dumb.
Okay. Would such an order shield Hussein administration from discovery regarding Obamagate? Would such an order shield Clinton camp from discovery regarding Clinton DNC Russia collusion? Who was the Democrats till 2022?
That would be Flynn.
Oh, Wow.
All the way up
okay.
to, yeah.
I've been a Republican all my life.
he endorsed Trump 10 days before somebody tried to shoot him.
But Jeff, you rule red shoes, man.
Oh, is
Got
that
it.
already in there?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Okay.
It should be. All right. So, so would such an order shield Clinton camp from discovery regarding Clinton DNC Russian collusion? Would such an order be known to POTUS or classified? If classified, how could it be discovered? NSA Mike Rogers step down, retire date? NSA Mike Rogers Trump Tower skiff secured date? Brennan, Clapper, Carter push to terminate NSA Mike Rogers date? Washington Post, quote, the heads of the Pentagon and the nation's intelligence community have recommended to President Obama that the director of the National Security Agency, Admiral Michael S. Rogers, be removed. The recommendation delivered to the White House last month was made by the Defense Secretary Ashton B. Carter and Director of National Intelligence James R. Clapper Jr., according to several U.S. officials familiar with the matter. How do you circumvent the shadow intel comm? And this is an article from The Intercept, the Trump White House weighing plans for private spies to counter deep state enemies. Critical thinking. What did Susan Rice, Patrick Burns' hero?
Yeah, that's what Susan Rice was going to be our General Flynn and Susan Rice were going to be president and vice president, according to Patrick Byrne and Guitar on.
Yeah. Guitar on. Oh, my God. All right.
It's 10. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Oh, it's 10. Let me do this, Shady Groove. Let me do this one right here.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready, Yeti? I'm going to my camera. All right. The countdown is over. The rivalries are real. The road to the championship begins on August 23rd. Westwood One Sports brings you every electrifying moment of the NCAA. The first snap to the final whistle. Top teams, big plays, unforgettable Saturdays. Don't miss a second of the action. Listen to NCAA football on rumble.com, the Westwood One Sports app on westwoodonesports.com via Westwood One station streams, or asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. If it's sports, it's on Westwood One.
Boom.
All right, Yeti, take us away.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and
But
such.
there is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
the shadows of the screen, where the faithful gather round, a general spins his web with a silver tongue profound. He whispers sweet salvation in a cloak of stars and stripes, but behind the curtain's veil, he's sharpening his knives. Promises of hidden truths in a world that's gone astray, lead you down the rabbit hole where the light turns cold and gray. With a smile that hides the serpent, he pulls you into line, tricking hearts with holy words while he undermines. Oh, the General Flynn religion, praying to the seven rays, archangels in the ether, in a weird God's haze. He'll lead you to the psyop pit where hope turns into chains, feeding lies like communion wine while he counts his gains. JFK Jr.'s coming back, devolution's on the way, but it's all a grand illusion in the general's play. Isolate from kith and kin, fund the endless game in the General Flynn religion. You're just fuel for the flame. He preaches from the pulpit of forgotten battle cries, but his God's a twisted spectrum under neon skies. Seven rays of cosmic fire from a prophet's fever dream. Not the Lord of heaven's grace, but a new age scheme. JFK Jr. lives on in a bunker deep and dark. Devolution's secret plan, lighten up the spark. But the truth is in the grift as the followers fade away, lost in hopeless fantasies, night turning into day. He undermines your spirit while you hang on every word, subverts the bonds of family, leaves your voice unheard. Away from society's gaze, in echo chambers tight, you wire him your savings for another endless fight. Psyop after psyop like a carousel of deceit, isolation's bitter fruit in his victory so sweet. While funded by the faithful in their self-made cage, he left behind a mask on history's crooked page. Wake up from the trance before the pit swallows whole. The general's not your savior, he's tolling on your soul. No race can light the path if the gods are wolf and wool. Break free from the religion, don't be another fool. Oh, the General Flynn religion, praying to the seven rays, archangels in the ether, in a weird God's haze. He'll lead you to the psyop pit where hope turns into chains, feeding lies like communion wine while he counts his gains. JFK Jr.'s coming back, devolution's on the way, but it's all a grand illusion in the general's play. Isolate from kith and kin, fund the endless game in the General Flynn religion. You're just fuel for the flame.
Yeah. Wow, Shady. That was Guitar Anon on guitar with his General Flynn religion song.
Yeah, you gotta love it. I mean, you know,
douchebags.
the cult's gonna cult. What are you gonna do?
The religion will relige. All right, because we're trying to go away from cult, because they are. But
Right.
religion, this is a religion. I am not supporting General Flynn.
Me neither.
There, I said it. I support Donald Trump. This is a Trump movement.
Me
And
too.
And Guitar Anon isn't muted. I don't know why he's not in here making a fool of
Oh no.
himself.
Well, I mean,
All right. I know.
Ooh.
Thank you. Levitt's live, but we're going through all this Adam Schiff stuff. What do we do? What do we do? Do we do that, Shady? I mean, let's leave it up to the others. Do we go join Caroline Levitt, or do we continue with our Q-proof show of Adam Schiff?
I'm not sure how we're gonna pull this off.
Wow. All right.
You can only do one.
Here's Caroline.
Everybody, good to see all of you here again today. On Friday morning, President Trump will travel across the country to Anchorage, Alaska, for a bilateral meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The brutal war between Russia and Ukraine broke out under Joe Biden's incompetent leadership. But President Trump is determined to try and end this war and stop the killing. As the president has said over and over again, his strong preference will always be for peace and partnership, whenever those outcomes can possibly be achieved. There is no leader in the world right now who has been more committed to preventing wars or ending them than President Donald Trump.
And by the way, this is also a Q proof with the 1111 post with the Sharks Shady Groove. 1111, if you put 11.11 and 11.11.11 or 18, you will get President Putin meeting. You will get unified again. I mean, this is huge Q proofs right here in and of itself.
It's not far as the way the crow flies to get to that summit up there in Alaska from where I'm at in Oregon, Jeff.
Get the shaggin' wagon out, buddy.
I mean, I might have to get out of here. Get through. You think I can make it through Canada?
Let's go. Do you have your Tourette's on?
I do. I have my gun turrets on.
Just look at what took place here at the White House last Friday, when President Trump hosted the Azerbaijani president and Armenian prime minister and got the two leaders to sign a historic joint declaration for peace, ending a decades-long conflict that disrupted the region and claimed countless lives. In other news, we continue to see positive economic reports across the board. Today's CPI report revealed that inflation beat market expectations once again, and inflation remains stable. Overall, inflation has run at a 1.9 average annual pace in President Trump's first 6 months in office. Prices for everyday goods continue to decline. Energy prices fell in July, including gasoline, which is down nearly 10% over last year, and propane, which is down 2.5% over last year as well. Egg prices fell once again in July and are down 20% since President Trump took office.
Shady.
Shelter inflation, the largest contributor to overall inflation, is at its lowest level since October of 2021. Wage growth for American workers is beating inflation once again. As inflation declines, this administration continues to be wholeheartedly committed to putting more money back into the American people's pockets. American real wages are up 1.3% over last year and have increased each month since President Trump took office. And small business optimism, according to this morning's report, has also reached a 5-month high. Ignore the panicans and trust in President Trump. That is our motto here at the White House. The America First economic agenda is working. On another matter, yesterday, President Trump took bold action to finally restore law and order right here in our nation's capital. The president declared a crime emergency in the District of Columbia, federalized the D.C. Police Department, and mobilized the D.C. National Guard to end violent crime in our nation's capital. As part of the president's massive law enforcement surge, last night, approximately 850 officers and agents were surged across the city. They made a total of 23 arrests, including multiple other contacts. Last night, these arrests consisted of homicide, firearms offenses, possession with intent to distribute narcotics, fare evasion, lewd acts, stalking, possession of a high-capacity magazine, fleeing to a lewd in a vehicle, no permits, driving under the influence, reckless driving, and a bench warrant. A total of 6 illegal handguns were seized off of District of Columbia streets as part of last night's effort. This is only the beginning. Over the course of the next month, the Trump administration will relentlessly pursue and arrest every violent criminal in the district who breaks the law, undermines public safety, and endangers law-abiding Americans. President Trump will not be deterred by soft-on-crime Democrats and media activists who refuse to acknowledge this rampant violence on our streets. He is going to make our nation's capital the most beautiful and safe city on earth, just as he promised on the campaign trail. Staying on the topic of public safety, the Trump administration continues to shatter records on border security. According to brand new numbers released this morning from Customs and Border Patrol, illegal crossings have fallen to all-time lows once again. Here were the records set in July. Again, these numbers were released this morning. The lowest monthly nationwide encounters ever, down nearly 90% from the monthly average under the Biden administration. The lowest monthly Border Patrol apprehensions nationwide ever, smashing the previous record set the prior month in June. The lowest monthly Southwest border apprehensions ever. The lowest daily apprehension average ever. The lowest single day apprehensions ever. And for the third straight month, there were 0 illegal aliens released into the country. Let me repeat that remarkable statistic. For the third month in a row, not a single illegal alien was released by the Trump administration into the United States of America. This is historic. Under President Trump, this border is the most secure it has ever been. When you fortify the border, when you restore deterrence, and when you empower Border Patrol agents and our brave men and women in uniform to actually do their jobs to enforce our laws, like this president has, this is the incredible result. And in the interior of our country, criminal illegal aliens continue to be arrested and removed. Here are some of the criminals arrested by ICE in just the last few days. ICE Buffalo arrested an illegal alien from Jamaica convicted of attempted murder. ICE Buffalo also arrested an illegal alien from Ecuador convicted of leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. ICE Houston arrested an illegal alien from Mexico convicted of manslaughter. ICE Newark arrested an illegal alien from Mexico convicted of the sexual assault of a minor. ICE Dallas arrested an illegal alien from Mexico convicted of assault causing bodily injury. And already the Trump administration has arrested more than 300,000 illegal aliens in 2025. Again, more than 300,000 illegal alien criminals have been arrested in the interior of our country in the first 6 months of this administration. And despite many false reports in the media, nearly 70% of these arrests have been criminal aliens with criminal charges or prior convictions. This is success all around. This is removing the most dangerous public safety threat.
You know, I want to address something in chat. Your gas prices are high because of your state or county or city, okay? The gas prices nationally are the gas prices nationally, okay? If your gas prices are high, look at your governor, okay?
It's the state.
It's state.
It's the state. The state has levied
And county.
taxes. The state, and well, in some cases the county, but especially out here, the state of California, Washington, Oregon, Arizona, and a number of other ones. Idaho, I think, is now doing it too. They are levying insane taxes. They're basically levying carbon tax on the fuel. So a number of other states back east, they can't get this nutty stuff through Congress in their state legislatures because the people say, you know, we don't want to pay more taxes for fuel. Out here, all the Democrats control all the levers of government, and somehow, you know, they convince everybody that more taxes is good for you. So
Yep.
if you have high gas prices, it's because of your state and local governments.
Yep, and I can say county here because Martin County is cheaper than Palm Beach County because Palm Beach County has more taxes on the gas. So it's your state, as Shady pointed out, and your county. The regular gas, the national price is the national price for all states. I mean, get it through your heads, guys.
Well, but the reason it's important is because what's going on is the media are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
The media are putting out all these stories saying, oh, Donald Trump is lying about the gas prices being low because the gas prices in New York and California where they live are still high.
Yep,
They're
exactly.
gaslighting their dumb audience.
Exactly. And they think you're stupid, and you're not. We know you're not. Here we go. Back to Caroline.
From America's communities and returning these individuals to their home countries. So there's been success all around. I'm sure you have a lot of questions today. I'm happy to get to them, so let's get started. And as always, we'll start with our new media C, who is our podcast host today, Benny Johnson. Benny, why don't you kick us off, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Caroline. As a DC resident of 15 years, I lived on Capitol Hill. I witnessed so many muggings and so much theft. I lost track. I was carjacked. I have murders on my Ring camera and mass shootings. I witnessed a woman on my block get held up at gunpoint for $20, and my house was set ablaze in an arson with my infant child inside. And so to any reporter that says and lies that DC is a safe place to live and work, let me just say this. Thank you. Thank you for making the city safe, because no parent should have to go through what my family went through, having the fire department rip open their door to save their infant child. And so thank you for your work on securing this city. My question to you is this: Nancy Pelosi has attacked the president for deploying the National Guard to the city. saying that it is to cover for his incompetence. Hillary Clinton has also attacked the president for securing the city of Washington, D.C. I'd like to get your response to Nancy Pelosi and Hillary.
Sure. Well, first of all, Benny, I'm so sorry that happened to you and your family. There have been, unfortunately, far too many victims of crime in this city, and I know the majority of residents in the District of Columbia agree with you. In fact, a new poll from the Washington Post I was reading this morning, this was released in May of 2024, so it's quite funny how many of you in the media agreed with what the president was saying yesterday, but now once the president says it, many of you are disagreeing with him. But this poll released by the Washington Post found that 65% of district residents think crime is an extremely serious or a very serious problem, and this was up from 56% last year. So the concern that you share with so many other residents in the District of Columbia is real, and that's why this president is taking action to address it. To get to the heart of your question, I think it's despicable that Democrats cannot agree that we need more law and order in a city that has been ravaged by violence, crime, murders, property theft. This should be a winning issue for all Americans. I don't understand. It's just anything President Trump does, the Democrats want to disagree with. I think the president would love to work with Democrats on this issue to bring law and order to America's cities, but unfortunately they have failed, and that's why he's taken this historic action to federalize the National Guard. And as you're seeing from last night's numbers, we already have seen success. We are removing violent offenders, we are arresting criminals, and we are removing drugs and firearms off of the streets of the city to make it safer for all of its residents.
Just a very quick follow-up to that. Given the heroic actions of a member of this administration just a few blocks from this building, will the president consider giving the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Big Balls?
I haven't spoken to him about that, but perhaps it's something he would consider. I'll ask him and get back to you, Benny. Thanks for being here. Gabe.
Thank you, Caroline. Regarding the President Trump summit on Friday, why not invite Ukrainian President Zelensky to that summit? I know the president said yesterday that he planned to speak with him right after the summit and even before, but why not invite Zelensky, and whose decision was it to not invite him? Was it the president or was it President Putin?
Well, this meeting came about because the president of Russia asked the president of the United States to meet through his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, who, as you all know, traveled to Russia to have a conversation with Putin at his request. And so the president is agreeing to this meeting at the request of President Putin. And the goal of this meeting for the president is to walk away with a better understanding of how we can end this war. And the president said at this podium yesterday when he joined all of you in the room that he hopes in the future there can be a trilateral meeting with these three leaders to finally bring this conflict to an end. But this administration has really used every lever, has taken every measure to achieve peace through a diplomatic solution. And I think the president of the United States getting in the room with the president of Russia, sitting face to face rather than speaking over the telephone, will give this president the best indication of how to end this war and where this is headed.
Another question on something that happened yesterday, but I wanted to get the White House response. A judge ruled that the grand jury transcripts in Ghislaine Maxwell's case should not be released. What's the White House response to that? And do you plan to appeal? And what do you tell President Trump's supporters who want that information released?
We think that decision is unfortunate. Of course, we moved to unseal that information because the president has said he wants to see credible evidence released. As for the appeal process, I would defer you to the Department of Justice for that.
Rachel. Thank you so much, Caroline. We are learning that President Trump spoke with Ukrainian President Zelensky. I was curious if you can share any more details about their call, and did Zelensky give President Trump any red lines, any non-starters ahead of this summit on Friday?
Look, I don't want to reveal the private conversations between the president and President Zelensky, but what I can tell you is that the president has deep respect for all parties that are involved in this conflict and are trying to bring this conflict to an end. After Special Envoy Witkoff returned from his meeting with President Putin in Russia, his first phone call was to President Trump. And President Trump's first phone call was to President Zelensky and to our friends in Europe to keep everybody in the loop about where the United States can see moving the ball forward to end this conflict. And so we continue to be very much engaged with President Zelensky and the Ukrainians, but also our allies in Europe as well.
And then just one more for you. How does the president measure success coming out of this meeting? The president at times has suggested that Putin might be tapping him along. Is he prepared to walk out of this meeting if he senses that Putin is not serious about ending this war?
I think I just answered that question for you and what the goal and the expectation of the meeting is. And I won't jump ahead of any hypotheticals, and I'll leave it to the president to speak to all of you after the meeting, which I'm very confident he will. Steve.
Are you optimistic that a deal will emerge from this meeting, or is he simply going to listen?
I think this is a listening exercise for the president. Look, only one party that's involved in this war is going to be present. And so this is for the president to go and to get, again, a more firm and better understanding of how we can hopefully bring this war to an end.
Caroline, how did you settle on Alaska as the site for this? So there were some other sites being discussed. This is like it was a midpoint between the two leaders?
There were many sites discussed, but of course Alaska is a state within the United States of America. So the president is very honored and looks forward to hosting President Putin on American soil.
Is there a joint news conference plan, or will the president have a solo one? What sort of scheduling stuff?
Yeah, the mechanics and the scheduling, Steve, are still being ironed out. For Friday, we're working with our Russian counterparts to put those plans into action. And of course, we'll keep you all apprised on the logistical details of Friday as soon as we get them. Charlie?
The president said at the podium yesterday twice that he was planning to go to Russia. Was that a verbal slip-up, or does he actually plan to go to Russia?
Perhaps there are plans in the future to travel to Russia. And on Friday, the president will be meeting with the Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska, as you know. Phil?
Last week, the president said the CEO of Intel was highly conflicted, seeming to cite his past investment with Chinese companies that were doing business with the Chinese military. Yesterday, he called his meeting with that CEO a success. So what can you tell us about what the Intel CEO said to President Trump that changed his mind?
The president put out a statement that you cited, Phil. I will leave it at that. He shared his thoughts on that meeting and how it went. And for any further comment on that, I'll leave it to him to make.
Will the Bureau of Labor Statistics continue to put out monthly jobs reports?
Well, look, what I'll tell you about the Bureau of Labor Statistics, I believe that is the plan and that's the hope, and that these monthly reports will be data that the American people can trust. As you know, the Bureau of Labor Statistics has made massive revisions after the last several points reports that they have put out. And there has certainly been a decline in the quality and the reliability of data coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and there's been an increase in revisions. And this president and the administration is finally tackling this problem that so many have talked about, and the president is actually doing something about it. We need to restore new leadership that we can trust. As you know, the president has appointed someone new to take over the BLS, and so we need to look at the means and the methods of how the United States is acquiring this very important data, and all of that is going to be done, and the goal, of course, is to provide honest and good data for the American people to make very important economic decisions on. Michael.
Thank you, Caroline. Two questions, if I may. The president has talked about land swaps between Russia and Ukraine. Vladimir Putin says he wants Russia to hold on to Russian-occupied territory in eastern Ukraine. Is the White House at all concerned about the messaging that potentially giving over or allowing Russia to maintain its occupied territory in eastern Ukraine, what that might say to other U.S. adversaries like China?
Look, right now, the President of the United States has done more to end this war than his predecessor, Joe Biden, who allowed this war to take place. This war, don't forget, happened at the result of the weakness and the incompetence of the previous administration. And so the president inherited this conflict, and he is determined to end it. And it's a very complex and complicated situation. As for the details of the plans that have been kind of tossed back and forth, I won't get into those, and I will let the President of the United States discuss those plans with the President of Russia, with our European allies, and the President of Ukraine, Zelensky himself as well. Sure, go ahead, in the green.
Thank you, Caroline. As far as the policing and security operations,
you just speak up.
Is there a timeline? Do we know what success looks like? Is it going to last longer than 30 days? And also, is there going to be an immigration enforcement aspect to this?
So can you speak up a little bit? The air conditioning is bumping in here for all of you today after yesterday's heater, so we've got to stock up. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Is there a timeline for the security operations here in D.C.? And also, is there going to be an immigration component to this, and what would that look like?
Look, if law enforcement officers encounter a criminal in this city, and they are an illegal alien, of course, the appropriate measures to detain and deport that individual will be taken, as they should. No city should be a sanctuary for anyone other than law-abiding American citizens, and that has been the position of this administration since day one. As for the timing, we will reevaluate and reassess and make further decisions after this 30-day period is up. But within these 30 days, our entire focus is making sure that this is the most efficient operation possible and that we are removing as many criminals from the streets and we are cleaning up DC as best as we can and working with the Metropolitan Police Department to do that. I know the mayor just spoke several minutes ago. I was watching her on television and she said that an increase of law enforcement officers on the streets will be helpful to deter crime in this city. And we look forward to working with these brave men and women of the Metropolitan Police Department to remove criminals off of our streets and to keep law-abiding citizens in the district safe. Josh.
Thank you. The president weighed in on Jay Powell again today, you might have seen. He said that he's considering allowing a major lawsuit against Powell to proceed because of the, quote, horrible and grossly incompetent job he has done. Can you tell us about that? What lawsuit is he talking about?
He's considering a lawsuit, and I won't speak on it any further. I will allow the president to do that himself.
The administration is considering suing the Fed chair over this renovation.
That's what the president is saying.
Discussions with anyone about this, or is this just like how advanced is this right now?
At this moment in time, the president is considering a lawsuit against the Fed, and I will leave it to him to comment.
Pause it for a sec. Are you there?
Tamara, go ahead.
This is amazing. Didn't I say this? Isn't this exactly what I said to you like week before last whenever we were talking about all the stuff relevant to how Donald Trump was down there? He was at the site. He was walking around on the site. This is what you do whenever you're a contractor and things are going bad. The first thing you have to do is you have to go inspect the site. You have to go see what's going wrong. How bad is it? What's the problems? He took his people with him. While he was walking around, his people were assessing the site, going through it. He's now had a couple of weeks. What he's been doing in the background, he's been working up the lawsuit. He is not suing. This is the way. I'm just getting you prepared for what's going to happen. The media is going to characterize this as Donald Trump is personally suing the Fed. He's suing the Fed on behalf of your interest. This is going to be their little narrative. Ron Paul, all these numbnuts are going to start spouting off, I guarantee it. This is our lead in. If Jerome Powell won't do the right thing, we gave him a number of opportunities. He can't exactly fire him. He's going by the book. Here we go. What are we going to do? We're going to sue his ass for incompetence over this nutty thing he's doing with stealing $3 billion.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, so more winning is what I was trying to say.
Winning is winning. All right, so let me do this real quick too, Shady. We got the set your clocks, guys, and mark your calendars because, Ellie, you got to buckle up for the best NFL primetime football action. Starting September 4th on Westwood 1, you can catch all the bone-crushing hits, last-second heroics, and the edge-of-your-seat action that the NFL Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights have to offer. Whether you're tailgating, do not miss a single snap. Driving, chilling at home, don't miss it. Listen on the NFL app, the Westwood One Sports app, at Westwood One Sports app. WestwoodOneSports.com, or just say ALEXA. Open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One. All right, back to Caroline Levitt.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I'm telling you, man,
yesterday we
can't
talked
get me more excited
about the NVIDIA chips deal.
Sorry about that.
The president has struck out as well. AMD, the 15% stake that will go to the government. Do you have any detail on how that came about? The president said he asked for 20% from NVIDIA. Did he make the same 20% ask to AMD, and or is this something the administration is looking to do with other either chips or products, going forward? Is this a model it wants to build on?
Well, look, right now it stands with these two companies. Perhaps it could expand in the future to other companies. I think it's a creative idea and solution. The legality of it, the mechanics of it is still being ironed out by the Department of Commerce, and I would defer you to them for any further details on how it will actually be implemented. But again, this was another idea of the president and his brain trust on his trade team to try to, get good deals for the American people and the American taxpayer.
Report that China is discouraging use of the H20 to some companies. Since this, we're reporting that overnight there was private guidance sent to companies not banning the chip but urging them to steer away from it. I wonder if you have any response to that.
I haven't read the report. I will, and we'll get you a comment on it. Tamara.
Thank you. Last week, the meeting with Putin was sort of described potentially as an opportunity for a deal. Now it's a feeling out. Is there has there been a shift in expectations within the White House or an effort to temper expectations about what success looks like for this meeting?
Well, I mean, look, I think both can be true, right? The president has always said he wants a peace deal. He wants to see this war come to an end. But this bilateral meeting is a bilateral meeting between one party in this two-party war, right? You need both countries to agree to a deal. The president is accepting this bilateral meeting with Putin on Friday, and I will let him speak further to it after it concludes about how he felt it went.
Also, completely unrelated topic, regarding the president's efforts in Washington, D.C., do you have any specifics about how homeless people will be dealt with, where they would be moved to? What does this look like?
I do, yes, and it's an important question, so thank you for raising it. The Metropolitan Police Department, with the support of the new federal agencies who have been surging on the streets of the District of Columbia, are going to enforce the laws that are already on the books here in Washington, D.C. For far too long, these laws have been completely ignored, and the homelessness problem has ravaged the city. So D.C. Code 22-1307 and D.C. Municipal Regulation 24-100 give the Metropolitan Police Department the authority to take action when it comes to homeless encampments. So homeless individuals will be given the option to leave their encampment, to be taken to a homeless shelter, to be offered addiction or mental health services, and if they refuse, they will be susceptible to fines or to jail time. Again,
Now, doesn't that sound fair, Shady?
Man, if they would implement something like that out here, we would have we would have like a 20,000 man workforce in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I was thinking about yesterday. The border is sealed, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's like we've spent our entire adult lives. That border has never been sealed. We have seen the inundation of drugs and crap and gnarliness come into this country in the last 30 or 40 years, like nobody's ever seen. A lot of people out here on the West Coast are getting ready to figure out that it might be time to what do we call it? Drying out is probably on the horizon, because it seems like the inventory of drugs out here is depleting, and people are starting to maybe realize that you're not going to be able to just get your cheap supply. Once you see the price of street drugs start to go up, you're going to quickly realize that the problem of homeless people laying around on drugs all the time starts to go away.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting too. I grew up in the 80s, and one of the jokes that we had was, do you remember this joke, Shady? I'm done being politically correct. Why is Mexico not in the Summer Olympics?
Why?
Because everybody who can run, jump, and swim is already here. Ha ha ha! And we laughed at it. Not so funny now, is it?
Yeah,
Pretty
because
interesting.
because even the people that are obese and overweight with diabetes have made it.
They made it, and the gang members and the pedophiles and the murderers
they're all dressed perfectly. They walk 1,500 miles through the desert, and they show up with brand new Nikes and a cell phone.
Yeah. Thank you, George Soros.
If I walk 1,500 miles, it doesn't things are different.
Yeah. Here we go. Keep going with Caroline Levitt.
These are three existing laws that are already on the books. They have not been enforced, which is part of the reason for this federalizing of the National Guard to bring in this assistance for law enforcement. While we are targeting criminals and trying to remove criminals off of the streets, we also want to make DC safe and beautiful, and that involves removing mentally disturbed individuals and homeless encampments as well. So we will be using these regulations and code that already exists to clean up our streets, and we've already had great success. Not many of you picked up on this, but the United States Park Police has actually done remarkable work in terms of removing homeless encampments from the city. Since the president signed this executive order in March, 70 homeless encampments have been removed by the U.S. Park Police. There are only 2 homeless encampments remaining in D.C. federal parks under the National Park Service's jurisdiction, and the removal of those 2 remaining camps is scheduled for this week. So the U.S. Park Police will be leading this effort alongside MPD.
Just very quickly, he had talked in one of his social media posts about moving them very far outside of the city. Is that off?
No, it's not off. We're exploring how we could do that. But again, homeless shelters, offered addiction and mental health services, or jail if they refuse are the options on the table right now. And we'll continue to explore that option.
Sure. Thank you so much, Caroline. President Zelensky said moments ago that he thinks Russia is preparing for a new offensive on at least 3 different areas of the front line.
President Zelensky used to play piano with his penis, okay? I mean, it's
That's
so
not a joke.
It's not a joke. That's
No,
actually
that's literal.
Yeah. Mickey B, thank you very much. To keep Scorpio Dark Side education going, thank you. Authority, thank you. There's $100, guys. I hope the operators are mad about it. Oh, they are. Rev Rob, the truth is the truth. That's why we're here. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the donations. We appreciate it. And here we go back to Caroline Levitt. Killing it.
Is this something that you could confirm based on US intelligence? And if the president sees that Putin is indeed planning major new offensive or moving troops, would he call off the meeting on Friday?
I'm not in a position to confirm or deny or comment on that intel at this time. Monica.
Thanks, Caroline. My question involves Russiagate. A whistleblower alleges that then Congressman Adam Schiff approved leaking classified information to smear President Trump's image during the Russiagate scandal. Does the president plan to investigate Adam Schiff, and what would accountability look like if more information confirms this?
Please pause it real quick.
The president has already said he.
I just want to point out that this question is coming. That this question is coming from the gaggle, and Benny was sitting there. If I was sitting in that seat, my question to her would have been directly about Adam Schiff from the jump, because that's the big story today. So just wanted you guys to understand that.
Schiff held accountable for the countless lies he told the American people in relation to the Russiagate scandal. I brought Tulsi Gabbard out to this podium to talk to you about all of that, and this administration is taking accountability very seriously. As for this new FBI whistleblower report, I understand Kash Patel last night declassified a 302 FBI document showing that a whistleblower who is a Democrat, a career intelligence officer who worked for Democrats on the House Intel Committee for more than a decade, repeatedly warned the FBI in 2017 that then Rep. Adam Schiff had approved leaking classified information to smear then President Donald Trump over the Russiagate scandal. This is obviously a bombshell whistleblower report. Hopefully more people in this room will cover it as such. And I have a quote from the FBI director for all of you. He has said this: "For years, certain officials used their positions to selectively leak classified information to shape political narratives. It was all done with one purpose: to weaponize intelligence and law enforcement for political gain. Those abuses eroded public trust in our institutions. The FBI will now lead the charge with our partners at DOJ, and Congress will have the chance to uncover how political power may have been weaponized and to restore accountability."
Wow.
So the administration is focused on, and hopefully we'll see the more media reports on this.
Wow, we can read all the Q posts, and we were today. Thank you, Caroline. This is what we're going over today. Let's continue.
Whistleblower allegation. If this were reversed, if this were allegations against the president or any of these cabinet officials, I'm sure everyone in this room would cover it as such. Elizabeth, go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline. After yesterday's action to federalize the DC police, is the president still interested in working with Congress to end the Home Rule Act? It's something you've talked about in the past. Senator Mike Lee has a bill on it. Is that something he's still interested in?
The president is very much still interested in working with Congress to address many of the issues that have plagued Washington, D.C., such as the cashless bail policy, which has been a complete disaster for the city. Juvenile delinquency is another major problem in the city that Congress can address. So I know Congress is on recess right now. When they get back to work to Washington, this president looks forward to having these conversations with our friends on Capitol Hill so we can work with them to make D.C. safe and beautiful again. And again, we encourage Democrats to join us in this effort. Perhaps their approval ratings would move up a little bit if they did. I saw a new poll today. Democrat approval rating is at an all-time low, 32%. If they could just stand by the basic notion of law and order, perhaps they would see that tick up a bit, and we welcome them to do that. Dasha.
Thanks, Caroline. President Trump yesterday at this podium indicated this, so has NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, that in order for peace to happen, it is very likely that Ukraine will have to cede some land to Russia. Zelensky has repeatedly said no land for peace. That's not going to happen. Has this administration communicated to Zelensky that he's going to have to change that position?
Look, I appreciate your asking that question in a different way than your colleague Michael in the back. I don't want to get into the details of these negotiations and these discussions that have taken place, out of respect for where we are right now, and I'll let the president speak on it further if he wishes to.
One more about Israel. Sure. I know the president has had a call with Prime Minister Netanyahu recently. Netanyahu is planning to seize the remainder of Gaza City. What is the administration's position on this move by Israel's government?
Look, this is an incredibly complex and complicated war. that, again, was inherited by this president, by his predecessor, Joe Biden. October 7th was one of the worst days in history. We saw innocent people slaughtered, murdered, kidnapped by Hamas terrorists. This administration has taken extensive time and effort and resources since Inauguration Day in January to end this conflict. We have given many flexible arrangements backed by Israel to Hamas, and unfortunately, Hamas has never agreed. Looking ahead, I will let the president speak on where he sees this going, but this is, of course, an incredibly complex and complicated situation. The administration has made our goal clear. We want to see this conflict end. We want to see the hostages released, and we've tried. The president and his national security team have given extensive effort and time to doing that.
With how Israel has used those resources and the assistance that you've provided?
Look, I'll let the president speak on the further actions that Israel may or may not be taking. Alexander, good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Caroline. Thank you. The Kremlin is expressing interest that Friday's meeting will move beyond just terms to end the war into improving bilateral relations. There's talk over how they're interested in potentially restoring direct flights between Russia and the United States. Is President Trump open to those kind of peripheral conversations, or is this directly focused on ending the war in Ukraine?
I think this conversation on Friday is focused on ending the war in Ukraine as far as the president's perspective goes. Those conversations, I think the president is interested in having, but his main priority right now is ending this war and to stop the killing that has gone on for far too long. You're welcome. Carolyn, in the back. Go ahead.
Yeah, two questions on the economy. So first, we've had small businesses tell us that it's not foreign exporters who are eating the tariffs, it's them. And they've held off on raising prices, but soon they're going to have to raise prices. What is the White House's message to them?
The White House's message to our small business owners across the country is you have never had a better ally or friend or supporter in this White House than President Donald Trump, who is a businessman himself, who understands your concerns and who wants to restore wealth back to our country through the powerful use of tariffs. And that's what he's focused on doing, while simultaneously driving down costs. You have to remember, we are 6 months into this administration, and we had a president who had no business experience, had no idea what he was doing, and who funneled billions of wasteful spending dollars into our economy, which created the worst inflation crisis in a generation. Now this president is focused on tackling inflation, deregulating, cutting costs, cutting red tape to make it easier for small business owners to thrive. And again, the economic indicators show that we are moving in the right direction. In January, when this president showed up to the White House, the 6-month annualized core inflation rate was 3.7%. Today, 6 months later, the 6-month annualized core inflation rate is 2.4%. So we are trending in the right direction. Moving forward, since President Trump took office, for another 6 months, inflation will be tracking at 1.9% at this trajectory. You look at grocery prices, they fell, energy prices fell, fuel oil fell, ship fares fell, propane fell, butter, margarine, eggs, non-prescription drugs. You go through the list of items that are falling. And then I would also point to that report this morning showing that small business optimism has reached a 5-month high. So look, we inherited an economic mess from the previous administration, but this administration is focused on fixing it every day. And part of that is signing the largest tax cuts into law to put more money back into the pockets of these small business owners.
Just on the BLS, they collect the inflation data, obviously. If the jobs data is not reliable, should Americans trust the inflation data?
Well, look, the jobs data has had massive revisions. We want to ensure that all of the data, the inflation data, the jobs data, any data point that is coming out of the BLS is trustworthy and is accurate, which is why the president has restored new leadership at the BLS. Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So Gavin Newsom has said that California is going to sue in response to the government's demand for $1 billion from UCLA over the DOJ's anti-Semitism findings. Newsom has called this extortion and ransom. So I'm wondering what the White House's response is to Newsom on UCLA.
Bring it on, Gavin. This administration is well within its legal right to do this, and we want to ensure that our colleges and our universities are respecting the First Amendment rights and the religious liberties of students on their campuses, and UCLA has failed to do that. And I have a whole list of examples that I will forward to Gavin Newsom's press office if he hasn't seen them himself. Brett.
Thanks, Caroline. What was the reason that President Trump chose to move on from Billy Wong as IRS commissioner?
Look, I think the president wants to see Billy Long as the ambassador to Iceland. As you know, that is where he will be headed. And the president loves Billy Long, and he thinks that he can serve the administration well in this position. For now, Secretary Scott Bessent will be the acting IRS commissioner.
For announcing a new pick.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Oh, Ed, go ahead, but
wait,
then in the back, yes.
Go in the back first.
Okay, sure.
Thanks, Caroline.
Ladies first.
One foreign policy and then one domestic question, if I may. There are roughly 30,000 children from Ukraine who have reportedly been abducted and are kind of dispersed around Russia. They've been showing up on these websites for adoption. Is their return a red line for the president in any deal ending the war?
The administration is aware of these reports. I don't want to set red lines for the president on his behalf from this podium. However, the president did encourage Ukraine and Russia to speak directly to one another in terms of these humanitarian issues. And we have seen progress. You have seen prisoners of war swapped between these two countries as a result of these direct talks, as well as children, and that remains a concern, but it's one that Russia and Ukraine need to iron out together, which is why this president has encouraged them to speak.
And then if I can, the DC action real quick. The president said yesterday that this is a model federalizing the National Guard that could be used to combat really high rates of crime in other cities like Chicago, LA, Baltimore. What sort of authority would he have to deploy forces like that, absent the Home Rule Act?
Look, the president is speaking about what he'd like to see take place in other cities around the country. Right now, this administration is focused on making DC safe and beautiful again. When the time comes, we'll talk about that. But I will note that the president wants to see all of our nation's cities be safe. But I think starting with our nation's capital is a great place to begin, and it should serve as a model for the rest of the country. Ed.
Just to bind up a few of the DC things, because a lot of them have been asked, but in talking with Congress about potential changes to home rule and whatever else, would he also push the House to finally pass DC's budget so that it has access to all that money that it does need for policing, for schools, and for other services here in the city?
Yes, and as you know, he has done that. He put out a statement calling on the House to take up the Senate's legislation, and he stands by that position.
Let me take you back to something from last month. You guys announced the president was diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency after his legs were seen swelling. How's he being treated for that? And while you were upfront about...
So what about Joe Biden there? And what's your problem? Look at him. You don't look like the epitome of health. Sorry. I can't even keep up with Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people, he's got this is a normal thing that happens for a man of 78 years old, Shady.
I was going to say the man is 80 years old. It's not that unusual.
Yeah. 79 is he? Yeah, he's 79, 78,
Almost
79.
80. Yeah, 78,
Yeah.
79. It's way older than me. That's all I know.
Yeah. And does a lot more than this chode. Guarantee you, every day, this guy couldn't even keep up. There's no way.
He barely got to the seat.
And look at him. he fills that seat out very well, doesn't he?
I was going to say, he has to buy 1.5 seats on the airplane.
And the lengthened seatbelt. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah, can I get an extension on the seatbelt?
about those health issues. Curious if the White House would be willing to let us speak with his physician directly about those health issues. I know that.
Why?
Haven't you heard of HIPAA?
No, you can't speak to my doctor directly, you crazy person.
Can I speak to yours directly?
Show me that you can run a mile.
Yeah, at least.
And then maybe we'll talk
I'll even
about
give it walk a mile. I mean, let's.
wait. Come on. He might
walk
cheat.
a mile in her shoes. There we go.
Take it
Never
easy.
mind. Oh boy.
There were a lot of concerns about the last White House not making the physician available. Would the physician be available in this case?
I don't want to make that commitment on behalf of the physician, but it's certainly something we can look into and explore out of the effort of transparency, because unlike the previous White House, there is nothing to hide. You guys see this president working around the clock, literally 24/7, all of the time. And
running circles around you
I
fools.
will be happy to look into that request.
We at least get an update on how he's being treated for the swelling legs? And
No.
Look, you see the president every day. He's moving, he's working, he's continuing. There have been no adjustments made to his
He's
lifestyle.
golfing.
Hey, Caroline, I have two questions. One on DC, but on the Putin meeting on Friday, does the president plan to meet with Putin one-on-one?
Yes, that's part of the plan. And as for the other mechanics and logistics, I will let our team speak to that when they're ironed out.
And on what's happening in DC with the federal takeover, what we've heard from the mayor and the police chief is that their understanding is there has been no change in the leadership structure. In the White House's view, who is in charge of the MPD right now?
If you read the executive order, it will tell you the leadership structure is as follows. We plan to work with the Metropolitan Police Department, but ultimately the chain of command is as such. The President of the United States, the Attorney General of the United States, our DEA Administrator, Terry Cole, who is now serving ahead of the Chief of the Metropolitan Police Department. And they will be working together. Nope, Terry Cole, as you heard from this briefing room yesterday, is in charge of the Metropolitan Police Department, and he's working with the Chief to ensure that law enforcement officers are allowed to do their jobs in this city.
Caroline?
Joey.
Yeah, thanks, Caroline. I know you said earlier the hope is to maintain monthly job reports, but the president's new nominee for BLS Commissioner E.J. Antoni recently told Fox Business that the BLS should suspend issuing monthly job reports and only issue quarterly reports until the jobs data methodology is corrected. So does the president disagree with that assessment that his nominee is said there, or suspending these monthly job reports a real option?
I think he floated the idea of possibly suspending until they can get the data and the methodology in order. And this president wants to ensure that the BLS, again, is putting out accurate and honest data that the American people can trust. Since you brought up the new commissioner, he holds a master's and doctor's degree in economics from Northern Illinois University. He's the chief economist in the Heritage Foundation's Center for the Federal Budget. And in addition to his work at Heritage, he has multiple other roles. He's been widely renowned for his work on economic issues. He's been called before Congress to testify as an economic expert. So he's a qualified individual, and the president trusts him to lead this important department. Take a couple more questions. Sure, go ahead.
Given that the administration now has jurisdiction over MPD, can we expect, does that mean like personnel changes, hiring, firing? Can we expect leadership changes internally in the Metropolitan Police
Well,
Department?
I just walked through what the leadership structure looks like right now.
Within the uniformed police department, right? I mean, does that mean that the Attorney General, others kind of have the ability to make those personnel decisions?
I would imagine it means they have the ability. As for any changes, I'm not tracking any. Again, we look forward to working alongside the Metropolitan Police Department. And we did that last night successfully, and we hope we could do that for the next 29 nights. Go ahead.
Caroline,
yes.
So in light of reports that ICE agents detained a 15-year-old student with disabilities outside an LA high school, even leaving bullets on the sidewalk, how does the Trump administration plan to ensure parents that their children can return to school without fear of being wrongfully detained or endangered by federal agents?
Where'd you see that report? Okay, well, I'll have to look into the veracity of that report. I read the LA Times almost every single day, and they are notorious for misleading the public. I'm sure there's more to that story than the way that you just characterized it. This administration wants to ensure that all school children across the country in every city from Los Angeles to DC can go to school safely. And that's part of this administration's effort to federalize the National Guard in Washington, to ensure that ICE is removing child predators. I just read you a list of a handful, just a handful, of the hundreds of thousands of child predators that this administration is removing off of the streets of Los Angeles and every other community across this country. Because we want to ensure this is a country where American school children can be safe, where they can prosper, and where they are not threatened by violent criminals, whether they are illegal or whether they are American citizen homegrown criminals, as this president calls them. So I will gladly go check on that report, and I'll get you the facts. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, that is one awesome press secretary, and she brought up the media is trying to figure out. They're part of it too, guys. Yes. The media is knowingly covering it up too. They're all part of it. Shady Grove, we had a whole show, first hour, all full of Q proofs. We didn't even get through all of them, Shady.
We're going to save them for tomorrow just in case that you might want to see them tomorrow, because what we're uncovering here is not just a 1 day's worth of information. What we're uncovering here is a lifetime worth of corruption. It's 150 years worth of institutionalized corruption. It's so institutionalized that the people that are doing it think that they're not doing anything wrong. And as a matter of fact, that you telling them that they're doing something wrong is what's going on that's wrong, not the things that they're doing that are illegal. Well, the world has been turned on its head. Donald Trump is sitting in the driver's seat, and he's turning it back around slowly but surely and redirecting the arc of humankind towards the horizon in which we survive the future of these globalist, elitist, extinctionists. These people are extinctionists. They want you gone. We are humanists. We think we should stay. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's
You know,
what
it's
they're trying to do
interesting
to you.
too. We have the Adam Schiff post, and then we get trolled by the Flynn fans. Isn't
I
that
know.
weird?
Yeah, but they came over to call us Adam Schiff.
1 + 1.
But really, Adam Schiff is the one that perpetuated the Russia hoax that Flynn was absolutely central in setting up.
Yeah,
Like
very interesting.
no Flynn meeting with Putin, with Jill Stein in Russia sitting next to Vladimir Putin. They would not have been able to smear any Republican candidate with General Flynn, much less the great Donald Trump.
What do you do with the general?
What do you do with a general? The general's not a general.
Oh my God, so good. Shady Groove, real quick, let me just do this one too while we're at it, because we got a bunch of them today. You probably noticed that Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Rumble Premium members unlock new exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators like the MG Show. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium. Use that promo code STUDIO to check out. And that's rumble.com/premium. Use code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal, Shady.
What a great deal. We are absolutely completely excited to be working with within the Rumble Premium, because we are able to get out to you a whole level of information that everybody, I think that us doing this is making them more aggravated. Jeff, I thought that maybe once we started sharing all this information about their overlords, that they would be less attentive to us, but I think it's making them more attentive.
It's kind of wild, isn't it?
It is. It is.
I kind of like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Because without trolls, you're not over the target. You know, if we were like, you know, just there's no trolls. Like, do they troll X22?
They don't troll Benny either.
So are they over the target?
No, they are like they are part of what is they're part of the target. Not over it.
Interesting. All right, guys, that's it. You know, it's tricky to rock the truth, though. Rock the truth that's right on time. It's tricky. See you guys tomorrow. Shady Groove, thank you.
Trump Day.
It's tricky, yo. It's tricky, let's go. It's tricky to rock the truth, to spill the real that's right on time. It's tricky, it's tricky. It's tricky to rock the truth, to break the veil and free the mind. It's tricky. Matrix in the code, I'm dodging all the lies they send. Unplug the system, yeah, I'm breaking through the lens. Shady's on the mic, spitting bars to wake the crowd. Truth the ammunition and we're dropping it loud. No red or blue pill, just the facts we ignite. Get through the shadows, bring the dark to the light. They try to box us in, keep the real out of sight, but we're flipping the script, yo, we're ready to fight. It's tricky, yo, it's tricky, let's go. It's tricky to rock the truth, that's right on time. It's tricky, it's tricky. It's tricky to rock the truth and free the mind. It's tricky, tricky. Aye. Shady's got the flow, cutting deep like a blade. No facade, no mask, just the truth that we trade. Matrix hacks the mainframe, see the code, rearrange, pull the plug on the fake. Now the world's gonna change me. They throw distractions, try to keep us in a haze, but we spitting raw facts, setting fire to the stage. From the streets to the screens, hear the truth resonate. Matrix and Shady, always shifting the fate. Yo, it's tricky, yo, it's tricky, let's go. It's tricky to rock the truth, that's right on time. It's tricky, it's tricky. It's tricky to rock the truth and free the mind. It's tricky. I'm G Music, yo, the truth is tricky. Let's go.
Gotta love these cheesy cornball songs, guys. Love it. Press 17 if you love this song.
Let's go. Let's go. Go. It's tricky, yo. It's tricky. Let's go. It's tricky to rock the truth, that's right on time. Ricky.
God bless you all. www.mg.show. Boom.